Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cobra Kai Kompanion. This is interview number 8 with Owen Morgan, who played Bert. Owen's mom, Sarah, also joins us on this interview, and this was from August 6, 2018, so just a little over 2 years ago. Again, this is before we started Cobra Kai Companions, so we were on a different podcast at the time, but this is the interview.
Hi, this is Owen Morgan. I play Bert on Cobra Kai, and you're listening to TV Ate My Brain.
Welcome to TV Ate My Brain, the official TV podcast of Core 10 Parts, the Cobra Kai edition. And I am Peter, also host of Podstalgic. And today's episode, I have an interview with Owen Morgan, who played Bert, probably the littlest of the Cobra Kai members. And also, for the very first time, a parent is on the show today, and I also speak with his mother, Sarah. Sarah also studied karate herself. She talks about the role as the parent, the auditioning process, and a little bit about the behind the scenes of Cobra Kai. And Owen talks a little bit about his love for Marvel, and we also get to hear his thoughts about his character, and he talks about some of the relationships he's made during the filming of the show, to include one Mr. William Zabka. And kind of towards the end of the episode, I kind of ask who would win in a fight between him and Jacob Bertrand, who played Hawk, and also Bert versus Hawk. So tune in to hear those questions answered. And without further ado, here is our conversation.
Hello?
Hello, Ms. Morgan.
Yes. Hi, this is Sarah.
Hi, it's Peter.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing all right. I want to first, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with the both of you. You mentioned something, you're part of this karate school. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we own a karate school. It's called All Star Karate, and we're in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Cobra Kai people reached out and said they wanted to have some real karate schools in the tournament, and asked if we could send some students. So the guy who owns it and our sensei is Master Hinton, and he was on camera, and about 10 of our students came down. And it was really cool. They inspired a lot of them to start acting, which was really fun.
Oh, that's amazing. So you got about 10 students from the school. So the school itself was a school in the tournament, correct?
Yes. Yeah, so we got knocked out pretty early, but we do get introduced, and I think you see one of the students fighting.
Oh, that's awesome.
In the episode. Yeah.
And you yourself, you have done karate?
Yeah, I'm a black belt as well. I don't teach that much. I do more of the running of the business, but I do a little bit of instruction, but mostly I'm kind of behind the scenes.
And how long have you been doing that for?
We started the school about 3 years ago. I've been studying karate for, I guess, about 7 years now. I started right after my kids started. And I got my black belt about 2 years ago.
Oh, amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, what made you decide to get into karate?
The kids started because some friends of theirs were doing it. And I started doing the kickboxing class. It was just a great way to get in shape. And then they started an adult program. And I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. And 5 years later, I got my black belt.
Oh, that's awesome. And so you mentioned the filmmakers reached out and wanted some real schools. What was the auditioning process for Bowen like?
Well, funnily enough, we actually, the four of us applied for background for a family scene that they wanted at the dealership. So the four of us, their stepdad and his sister and me and Owen just put in as a family. Didn't hear anything back, and about 3 weeks later, background called and said they wanted Owen as a high school student, which I thought was funny because Owen, is fairly small for his age, and I questioned it and said, do you know his stats? And they said, yeah, he's perfect. We just want him. They booked him for a couple of days, and they said it might turn into something more. Well, 2 days turned into 6 weeks, and then they said they wanted to audition him for Bert. And so he and about 4 or 5 others auditioned, and he was lucky enough to get the part.
Now, was it a physical appearance thing that they were going for? What were the other kids like that were auditioning for that character?
There were two of the others were definitely the three smallest ones auditioned, and then they had a couple of the others that weren't the smallest. So they had some different types going on.
Oh, interesting. So did the filmmakers, did they ask for any type of approval in terms of things Owen's character was going to say or do?
Are you referring to the mini-mart scene?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Well, yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise. The directors did pull me aside and asked if I was comfortable with it. And they showed me the magazine and said, this is, as you can see, there's nothing inside. So they showed me that it was a prop and it was, not completely inappropriate if Owen was to look through it. So they made sure that I was comfortable before we did it. They were very supportive that way.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I'm sure something like that for Owen being as young as he is, that's something that they definitely got to make sure that the parents are okay with. Did they tell you what the tone of the show was? Because it is very different from the original movies. Did you know it was going to have language and the content that it does?
I didn't going in, just being background going in. Typically they don't give you a whole lot of that kind of information. So it's something we sort of learned on set. I actually didn't know the extent of it until we watched the series, because that kind of language, other than, in each scene, it's not being thrown around on set. So I felt comfortable with him being there. And yes, he did hear some of the language, but it wasn't constant.
Right. Because I'm thinking back to the moment in the last episode where Sensei Lawrence has the speech, the very last lesson, no mercy. And he has all types of language, and, Owen's clearly in the background too. I'm just like, oof, I don't know how I'd feel if I had, I don't know his actual age. Is he 13, 14?
He's 14.
He's 14. So was it 13 when they were filming that?
Yeah. So he was 13. And honestly, from what my kids tell me, they probably hear worse, in the schoolyard these days. So,
sure.
It's not something that, was completely unfamiliar to him. It's not anything he uses, but it didn't faze him.
Yeah, I completely understand. My son, who is now 18, just graduated from high school. When he was about Owen's age, he discovered The Walking Dead, and it wasn't something I introduced him to. But I just had to make sure. Look, just don't repeat anything you hear on the show at school. So I completely understand.
Yeah.
So where were the parents staged while shooting was going on, if they were on set?
That's something that we were really happy with, particularly when we first started shooting. The whole Hollywood scandal thing was going on. And people kept saying to me, just make sure you keep your eye on him on the set. They never took the kids away from us. We were always able, if we were not actually on the set, we were behind the cameras and seeing everything that was going on. So anytime that any of us wanted to be there with our kids, it was never a problem at all.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the relationships with some of the other parents that, you may have met? And are there anyone like Xander's mom? And for the listeners, if you guys forgot who Xander was, he was the previous champion at the All Valley tournament, whose mom was your stereotypical, soccer mom, wearing all blue there. Was anyone like that at all?
No. In fact, it was mostly moms. We did have a few dads. Everybody was just there to kind of champion their kids and cheer each other on. In fact, when Owen got the role, they were, really supportive, and everybody was just really proud of him. We became like a real family in the weeks that we were there. And I'm still friends with a lot of the moms. We keep in touch. We try and get together. When Cobra Kai came out, we got all the kids together and we had a little Atlanta premiere. So no Xander's mom, no drama, just really great people.
That's good. That's good to have that,
Yeah.
drama-free, because I imagine that sometimes parents can get a little competitive, because I've been around the sports competition and stuff, and I've seen how parents can get and coaches and stuff like that. So that's great to have a support group.
Yeah.
Did Owen make any friends that he continues to talk with after the show?
Absolutely. Yeah. He's good friends with a bunch of the Cobra Kai kids. He keeps in touch with Sholo here and there on Snapchat, but mostly the other Cobras.
Because most of them, are they from the local area as well?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, recently, yourself and Mandy, who's one of the other Cobra moms as well, joined our group page that we have on Facebook. Mandy shared a pretty cool video, and it was Jacob and Sholo just kind of, I think they were hopping over Talon, who plays Xander. It looks like you guys just had some downtime. Did you have any other stories to share from a parent's perspective, just kind of, being behind the scenes and observing?
I don't think I have anything as cool as what Mandy put out. I think for me, what really struck me was how great the cast and the crew were with all the kids, and Billy in particular was just absolutely amazing. From day one, with Owen being an extra, he went out of his way to make every single one of the kids comfortable. He gave Owen karate tips and, chatted with him, and they did karate together. And this is just, he's just one in a crowd. But throughout the 6-7 weeks we were there, he became a real mentor to him, a real inspiration.
Yeah, that's amazing. I keep hearing the same things from everybody else that, Mr. Zabka there is just the consummate professional, and that's great that he made all the kids comfortable too, because his character is so different from the way he actually is. Yeah.
Yeah, you would never believe him. You really wouldn't.
Now, did you have any interactions with Ralph Macchio at all?
Yeah, a few times. Owen did a little stand-in work early on. For one of the other characters, and got to be around Ralph for a few days, and then right at the end of the tournament scenes, we spent a little bit of time with him. Nowhere near as much as we did with Billy, but yeah, he's a great guy, very friendly, very approachable.
That's amazing. Yeah, I obviously haven't had the chance to meet either of them, but they are coming to my hometown, Portland, here just next month. So I'll be able to get some autographs and pictures too. So I'm definitely looking forward to meeting them and letting them know that I got to speak to some of you guys.
Yeah.
Now, what else is in store for Owen at this point? It sounds like season 2 is in pre-production, but nobody seems to know whether or not their character is coming back yet.
Yeah, I think it's still early days, so we haven't heard anything yet. After season 1, Owen actually got an agent, and he's been auditioning over these last couple of months. So, he's hoping for more roles, maybe some movies. His dream is to be in a Marvel movie, so we'll see.
Nice.
But yes, if they come calling for season 2, he'll be there like a shot.
I like it. Well, that's all I have for you at this time. And if Owen's ready, I can speak with him.
All right, he is right here.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, Owen, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good. My name is Peter. I'm not sure if you knew that, but, as I thanked your mom, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Anytime. Thank you for letting me be here.
Yeah, for sure. How's your summer been so far?
It's been pretty good, actually.
Just finished up some karate stuff today, right?
Yep.
Now, your mom was just saying that you want to be in a Marvel movie someday. Do you have a favorite superhero, or do you just like Marvel in general?
Oh, I just love Marvel in general. Like, I've never really been able to decide on a favorite superhero because they're all just amazing.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Not really, no. I just don't really have a favorite.
How about Infinity War? What'd you think about that?
Oh, that movie was amazing. I loved it so much.
Pretty amazing. Yeah, my son saw it 3 times in the theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could go and see it again. It was great.
Yeah, well, since you kind of just wrapped up with karate, maybe you'll have some time to go watch it again. I definitely enjoyed it myself and wish I could have gone a second time, but it is 2.5 hours long, so you got to have some time to go.
Yeah.
So I understand you actually do karate too. So you weren't just in the show, to be a character, but tell me about your experience in doing karate. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it for about 7 years now. I started when I was pretty young, and ever since then, I've just been doing karate. I did take a break for a little bit, but I'm trying to get back into it now pretty slowly. I think Cobra Kai is what's getting me back into it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it has done for a lot of people. Not that karate kind of disappeared, but I think with the show Cobra Kai being as popular as it is, it kind of got people, rethinking maybe they should go back to doing karate or, picking up something else. Do you have any like martial arts idols or maybe like a martial arts actor whose movies you just love watching?
I don't have a whole lot of idols, no, but over the course of Cobra Kai, Billy Zapka, he really helps me get back into the whole martial arts scene.
Yeah, because someone like me, I'm a lot older than you for sure, but I have people like Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, stuff like that. There's no one that comes to mind. I know you just mentioned Billy Zapka, but I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Who do the kids look at right now for martial arts?
Well, I mean, I do really like the work of people like Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris. I hear a lot about them.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Do you watch the Daredevil Netflix show?
I do not. I wish I could. It's still yet to be decided whether I am able to watch that show.
Yeah, that's right. I think it is a little violent, and it might be for a little bit of an older audience, I think.
Yeah.
Prior to being cast in Cobra Kai, what did you know about the Karate Kid movies?
I had watched the Karate Kid a few times in my life, and I really enjoyed the movie. It was really good, especially for the time that it was made. I really enjoyed the plot. It was great. Yeah.
Did you have any favorite scenes?
The Halloween scene was really good.
Okay. Now you're talking about the dance, the Halloween dance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on for sure. You got Daniel, kind of pouring water on Johnny in the bathroom there, and the little chase ensues.
That part. That was funny.
Was that cool to see in episode 3 with Sholo dressed up in the skeleton costume?
Oh yeah, I loved seeing that. It was really cool to see that they did that. I thought that was a good touch.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And they did a lot of stuff like that too. Like in episode 7, when Sholo and Mary go on their date, it was very much like Daniel and Allie, from the first movie as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that. I thought that was cool.
You weren't in the dance scene, were you?
No, I was not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't think I had been cast at the time as an extra.
Really? So they were still casting as they were filming?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's very interesting.
They were still looking for extras in different parts.
Yeah. Of the Karate Kid movies, which ones have you seen?
I've only seen the first one, but soon I will be watching the second and third.
Yeah, I really enjoy the second one. I know I don't think people dislike it, but it's really about Mr. Miyagi. So if you like his character from the first movie, I think you'd really enjoy it as well.
Right.
It's very similar plot-wise. Daniel meets another foe, so you have a different guy instead of Johnny in that one. So.
All right. Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Now, were you given the entire script of Cobra Kai when you were cast, or just parts of it as they were shooting?
I was not, because I originally started out as an extra, and they don't really give scripts to extras. So at the time when I was my first couple of weeks on set, I didn't really know what was going on at first. I had to get used to it, study what was going on around me, and figure stuff out. But then once I started to get more of a role, I went up as a stand-in, and I got a script for that. And then I eventually got my speaking line, in which I started getting scripts for every episode I was on.
So the very last episode, was this the last one? Well, actually, I think it was episode 9 when you and Gianni and stuff. I think I think Jacob was trying to buy beer with a fake ID. Now,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so the script for that, did you and your mom get that at the same time? Because of what the scene kind of entails?
That's something I can't really remember that well.
Yeah.
I might have gotten the script for that. Can't remember.
Do you recall what you thought about, or what your thoughts were when you kind of read what you were doing in that scene?
I thought it was pretty funny. I liked it.
Do you still talk to Gianni?
Not really. I don't really have any of his information contact wise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. He's a really funny guy.
Oh yeah, he's really nice.
Now, what do you think about your character still being picked on even after joining Cobra Kai? And I'm kind of referencing there's the scene where you and Hawk, played by Jacob, are sparring, and he kind of kicks your butt out there in the field.
I thought that was pretty funny too.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool that they were still making it that I was still an underdog, even though I had joined some of the stronger people.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'd hate to say it's a little realistic because for your character, Bert being so little, and we haven't really seen him train a whole lot. I mean, I think it'd be kind of funny too if Bert was to take down Jacob or Hawk, I guess, in this sense.
Yeah.
What was your relationships like with some of the cast members, to include Nicole, who plays Aisha, Shoal, who plays Miguel, Gianni, and Jacob?
They were all really nice to me. I got to hang out with them a lot on and off of camera. Yeah, they were all super nice. I started to become friends with some of them. I got a little bit of their contact information on like Snapchat and stuff.
I interviewed Nicole as well, and she told a little story about one time she just thought you were really adorable and kind of just picked you up and lifted you off the ground. Do you recall that?
I do recall that. That was, I believe, one of the first times I met her. I didn't really mind because I'm kind of used to that sort of treatment from other people.
Uh-huh.
I find it kind of funny.
Yeah. And she said that you were just like, can you please put me down? Or, I don't know if she was saying that to be funny, but we thought it was funny, that little story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was your experience working with, Billy? Like, your mom kind of touched on it a little bit as well. You said that he kind of, helped you with some karate, or what were some other things that he did with you?
Well, we'd, off of camera, we'd talk a lot. We'd hang out. He was really nice to me. I loved hanging out with him. He was super nice. He taught some of the extras a few tips on acting and auditioning for things, and a little bit on karate. I liked hanging out with him. He was really nice.
Yeah, sounds like he was a great mentor.
He was.
Now, tell me about shooting the very last episode, the season finale. From what I've gathered from some of the other cast members, that it snowed, and was it a couple days to shoot that episode?
Yeah, it took a couple of days. It was a lot. And there were a lot of different things going on in that scene, but it was really fun to do. I got to hang out with different people. I think it took actually like a few days.
Oh, okay.
I got to know different cast members because almost everybody was there, and everybody was super nice. I got to hang out with the other extras and the cast at the same time because everybody was just together. It was really fun.
Yeah, it seems like you guys had a lot of fun, and I do really like kind of early on in that episode, everybody's wondering where Sensei Lawrence is, and then your character Bert actually has a story of seeing him the previous night. So, what was shooting that scene like?
It was pretty fun actually. I remember when I first got the script for it, and I thought, wow, this is not what I thought it was. But I was pretty glad that I got to have a scene with Billy because we were already on pretty good terms. So I thought it was pretty fun to hang out with him some more.
Now, season 2 is still in pre-production right now, and a lot of people are still kind of waiting to hear back, about their character. What would you like to see happen with your character if you're back for season 2?
I'd like to see him a little more confident with himself, a little bit stronger than he was before.
possibly more respected by the other Cobras, especially after the beating he took in the last episode.
Yeah, about that. And how did you guys film that scene where in your matchup you get kicked kind of across the mat again by your opponent who's pretty much twice your size?
Oh, that was really fun. I did have a stunt double for a lot of that. I don't really know why. I feel like I could have done a lot of that, but it was still pretty fun to see all like the extras and Billy, like they were all like kind of focused on me in that scene, and I thought that was really cool.
Now, I do have two kind of follow-up questions in regards to karate. Between Bert and Hawk, one-on-one in a tournament style, who wins?
I definitely think Hawk. He's a lot more violent. He's a lot more he's a lot more tough.
A little aggressive, isn't he?
Yeah.
Now, in a matchup, tournament style, between you and Jacob, who wins?
I'd say, once again, Jacob would probably win.
Really? Do you know if Jacob has any experience in karate or martial arts at all?
I'm not sure, actually. I don't think I ever asked him, but I've seen all the work he's done, and it does look like he could probably beat me in a fight.
Oh, well, don't speak too soon. You never know.
Yeah, you never know, because I've never actually tried it, so...
Maybe that's something we could see in part 2. You know, maybe Bert's just about had it and kind of takes on Hawk and maybe gets a leg up on him.
Oh, that'd be fun. I'd like to do that.
Yeah. And I know to kind of wrap it up again, we started off talking a little bit about Marvel. If you can pick one, maybe not franchise, because people are starting to kind of double up, which characters would you like to work with if you can be in one of those movies?
Oh, that's a tough one. Let's see. Maybe Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, so you
probably
definitely Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man definitely. Tom Holland.
Okay, Spider-Man. You gotta have Spider-Man.
And Chris Pratt.
Okay, so you want Star-Lord, Iron Man, and Spider-Man in a movie?
Oh yeah, they're some of my favorites.
I like it.
They're great.
Okay, and now Marvel, they are starting to have characters or actors that are kind of at the tail end of their contracts. If you can take over for one of the superheroes, which one would it be?
It would be Spider-Man.
I can see that. I can see you as a little Spider-Man.
Yeah, it seems like the closest one I get to anyway.
Yeah. And since you started acting, you're 14 now. What advice would you have for somebody, about your age that wants to get into acting too?
Well, a lot of the time it will seem like it's a lot of work, and it can get kind of tough. Like different scripts can be really long or really complex, but you have to keep going through it, and if you just stick to it, you're going to succeed.
And that concludes my conversation with Sarah and Owen Morgan. So I want to thank them again for coming on the show and giving me the opportunity to pick their brains a little bit. I also want to give a special shout out to Mandy. She is the one who added Sarah to our Facebook group page. And that's how I was able to kind of come across Owen's account. And I reached out to Sarah and asked her to come on the show. So thanks again, Mandy, for that. And the group page that I'm talking about, if you guys want, we do have a Facebook group page that you can join. It's called www.Cobra-TVAMB group, and you spell out the words period. It's a play on the Cobra Kai website, as mentioned on the show. But Mandy recently shared a video, which I talked a little bit about during the interview, and so I don't know. I don't think she's shared that anywhere else, but there's things like that in our group page. Other members are sharing articles about the show and things that they're finding online. Susan Gallagher, who plays Homeless Lynn, is also in the group too. So we do have one cast member in there. It's a smaller group and we're slowly growing. So if you want to interact with other listeners of the show, feel free to join us there. But if you want to interact with me on Twitter, I'm at Cobra Kai Pod. And our Instagram account is at Cobra Kai Podcast. So I've been actively promoting some of our previous episodes and interviews as well. And I've been meeting a lot of great fans that way. So if you want to follow us on any of those social media platforms, you can find us there. Myself, I also host Nostalgic, as I mentioned in the beginning, which is a movie review podcast where Tom and I, we also covered all 4 Karate Kid movies just about a year ago. So if you want to check that out, it's all over iTunes and Stitcher, whatever you use. At Nostalgic is my Twitter handle, and you can find Tom at The Drunken Dork, where him and his co-host Jake, they cover a plethora of comic book related stuff, and they have interviews with people in the industry as well. So that's going to do it for now. And thank you all just for interacting with us, whether it's on social media or, on Facebook in the group page. So hopefully you have subscribed to the show to get the most recent updates. I'll go ahead and reveal it now. We have at least 3 other interviews lined up at the time of this recording. So we are definitely trying to provide you a Cobra Kai fix, if you will. So again, many, many thanks to everyone that's listening to us. I'll see you next time.